Hi there, and welcome to Noca. In this video, we're going to show you how to build applications that are integrated with your enterprise systems like Salesforce, SAP, Monday.com, NetSuite, Google, and more that have private sections which require users to authenticate in order to access. As you'll quickly see in Noca, this doesn't require anything more than a prompt and some quick configuration. Let's get started. So here's our prompt: create a two-page application. The first page will be a login page, and the second page will show company info in two text areas, one for company name and the other for company address. Let's click go and see what happens. Now, as you can see here, I didn't add in any design features that I'm looking for. I didn't add in my company brand book, but that all can be done as well. You can upload any of that information here, Figmas, whatever you want to use, and Noca will take that into account when it's building out your application. So for now, it's just going to freestyle it, and let's see what we get. Okay, and here is our application coming in now. So here we've got our sign-in page, as you can see, and on our company information page, we have, just as we asked for, the company name and the company address. So that's exactly a great place to start. The first thing we're going to do here is make this company information page a private page that it will only be able to be accessed behind the login authentication. So I just went ahead and I clicked on this and made that now private, and we're just waiting for Noca to configure that. Great, so now that that's done, we want to go ahead and get our login page ready. And what we're going to do there is go to the login page, and we're going to click here and go to data binding. And we're going to configure that. And how we're going to do that is we're going to create here a new flow. So we click here, create new flow, and we're going to write in here something like this: get contact info from Salesforce based on email. And now we click go, and that will now create that flow using the prompt. It already recognizes that we need Salesforce. I choose my connection, click confirm, and let's see what that flow creates. Next thing we're going to do is check out this new flow that was created and edit it, make sure that all of the settings here are correct. So the first thing we have here is a node called login form, which is the API. And what that's going to do is that's just going to collect that data from the login page really simply, and we can use that data as parameters in the subsequent nodes after this one. The second node here is get contact info from Salesforce. So it's very simple. What we want to do here is we want to look up to an object in Salesforce. We want to read that object. That object is going to be a contact, and we want to fetch the data based on the first record that matches our condition. So what's our condition? If the email in the contact object in Salesforce equals the email coming from that URL parameter, from the login form parameter here. Okay, so now we've already set up that condition. Once we have that condition, and once we find that contact, what we're going to be able to do is then grab the contact ID and work with the contact, the account, and any other related records to that contact object that we grab. So now we want to go to API response, and in API response, we actually want to change this from web application to JSON. So this is going to allow us to then use all of the data that we can pull from that contact ID, which we're going to grab based on the email address that we just saw a moment ago. So we're going to name our key values here. First, we'll do email, and we're going to grab that email address from our app fields in the actual contact in Salesforce. So as you can see, I just looked up to the previous node, and now we can get that. And let's add another key, and I'm sure you can probably guess what that key will be. It's the contact ID. And now we're going to go in and we're going to grab the contact ID and drag it here. And again, this will allow us to now work with all of the relevant data coming from the contact in Salesforce and its related objects. We click go, and that will now put that flow into motion. And now we can jump back to our project. Apply, and now our login page is already set up. Now the next thing we want to do here is go up to security, okay? And we want to now choose our custom login page that we just created and choose our login flow. And let's click update. Great, security settings are updated. Now what we want to do is decide what we want to happen with this page when it is opened. So let's go to company information, And what we're going to do here is do events. So call on load when component is loaded to fetch the data. And we're going to create a new flow for us to decide how we want to work with that page. So let's write here, get account from Salesforce based on contact from login and the related account. And let's click go and let's see what we get. We choose our Salesforce connection again, click confirm, and now it will create that flow for us. And let's go ahead and check out this flow that we just created. And here's our flow, and let's just jump through it real quick. First, we have company information, which is pulling the information from that login API and what we saw earlier in the project. Then we have read contact. So what that's going to do is we have it going in and reading the contact ID based on the contact ID from the login that we did previously, which will allow us now to look up to all of the contact information here and also the related information to that contact. So now we can also map to read the account, which will give us the company name, which is what we're looking for, based on this condition. If the account ID equals the account ID coming from the second node. So I'll show you how we did this. All we did here is we go into read contact, we go into account ID, and we choose the account ID that's related to this contact ID. It's right here. So that's how we pull from previous nodes. Then the next thing is the API response. So in this one, unlike the last time, it's going to be web application because we're now using this information in the web application. And we just map in our fields. And we're pulling that from node number 3, the account in Salesforce. We have your account name and billing address. Now let's make this go live. And we're pretty much done with our portal. And now we go back to our portal. We can click apply. And now we can test it out. Let's go ahead and preview our site and see how it runs. Okay, now we put in our email address and let's sign in and see what happens. And here it is. Now that we're logged in, we have here the company name and the company address coming from Salesforce. And I can show you the Salesforce as well. It looked up to this individual here, Ben Miller. It brought the account name, Noca AI, and the shipping address there. So that's just one way where Noca can very quickly allow you to build applications with the ability to authenticate users. And this works for Salesforce, it works for SAP, it works for NetSuite, for Google Drive, and for so many other enterprise applications. Come check out Noca today and see what we can build for you. Thanks for watching.